Good morning once again. My name is Deepali Dev, and I really want to say that I am not honored because I'm here today. I'm honored because I've got a chance to meet all of you. So with this, let's get some energy in the room. Can we put our hands up and clap once for your own self before we begin? And when I say that, people who don't like me, the front table, they're not doing it. So once again, we will attempt the same. Thank you so much. I really like energy because I personally believe that everything in this world is nothing but a game of energy. Energy of ours to you, yours to me, mine to somebody else, so on and so forth. I'm honored because I'm meeting all of you today. I had a very beautiful food for thought breakfast while I was served food also, but the conversation was pretty intriguing. It was very nice. I want to talk about not a startup because I have never worked or never created a startup, but I have created startups within employees, but before that within myself. I will not come to you as a textbook expert at all, but I am a hustler in heels, and when I say that, I mean that everything that I am going to speak to you about is something that I have really learned and practically done. My name is Deepali Dev. Once again, I am the Chief Operating Officer of Eco Mobility, a company which has got recently listed on both the NSE and BSE main boards. It is not a startup, it is a 51 years old organization. And we are delivering something which is the requirement for every individual, which is travel. So human tendency, travel will not stop and travel will happen. But that's not my introduction. My introduction is above all, I'm a mother of a 10-year-old daughter. And when I say this, I say it very proudly because my most important role is not just which is on the paper, it's at home in the messy mornings, to the bedtime stories. I come from a very, very humble background, guys, from a government school. Very limited exposure to, subjects like English. And from there to determining, doing honors from one of the top colleges of Delhi, which is Miranda House. I heard the name earlier also. From a state of stage fear, to coming and speaking to all of you and many other forums earlier. From working behind the scene to leading one of the organization, which is a bootstrapped company, not funded by anybody, making leaps and bounds in last 4 years, from almost coming, from a place where it was at post-COVID, hardly any revenue, to clocking 650 crores of revenue last year. So why I'm sharing these numbers, because there's a lot of spirit that would always go behind when you talk to anybody who is wanting to build something. So when I said I'm not from start-up, but I help and believe that people can become a startup, my key message will constitute of 2 words: rise high, R-I-S-E, so that you can remember, rise high, H-I-G-H. Okay, let me just share with you that I heard a beautiful connotation and a wonderful phrase from Mr. Malhotra when he said that find out what is pinching. So all of us need to always bring some solution to the problem, and then only that idea is going to become a success and you are going to become what you wish to become. In that, for me, it is relationship. When I say relationship, I always in my boardroom also keep 1 chair empty. This is something obviously which many other experts have done, but I really believe in following it. Leave 1 chair wherever you are having a conversation or in your mind for the customer, so that you are able to solve some problem. So I am not going to invest more time, but it is very important that we definitely leave 1 chair in our mind thinking about what problem are we solving by having this discussion or having any other discussion across. The second one, which I really believe, is the power of intensity of thought. When I say that, it's not the size of the team. Today I'm heading 1,000 on-roll employees and approximately a fleet size of 12,000 cars in India. I'm not talking about abroad. My services are present in India in 130 cities, 110 plus cities, and across the globe in 30 countries. And when I say that we have almost 1,000 employees on roll, it doesn't matter what is the count of the employees which are there in an organization. What would matter when you are doing your own startup tomorrow? What would matter is, what is the thought process which is flowing from your mind as an entrepreneur to the mind of the one who's delivering the services. That is we come to S, which is about solve the real problems. Don't just decorate your ideas and present them in a presentation, because the real pain points of a customer need to be solved in the most simpler manner. As we move ahead the day, I'm sure we will hear more examples about how simplistic solutions have won over the country. Today morning only I was reading about, one of the most highest paid CEO. Do we know who's the highest paid CEO? Any guesses? Yes. Brilliant. Can we put our hands together for the lady in green? Yes, so it's a simple answer. And you know what he said? That he has not even one branded belt. I don't know how much true it is, but what I mean to say that simplicity in the thought process and giving simple solutions is something which is going to solve the biggest problems. And if you actually see around the kind of businesses which are flourishing, those businesses are coming with a very simple thought process, which is solve the pain point. Last but not the least of the word rise is E, where I believe that coming from India, where Atiti Devo Bhava is something that runs in our blood, it's very important to leave that one chair for the customer. At the same time, create that culture, which is empathetic and emotional culture. Because I'm a follower of Sir Ernest Shackleton, and he said that you always have two minds, we all know that, the rational and the emotional. So emotional is something which is going to always rule, whether it's marketing, whether it's product development, whether it's people management. So irrespective how highly paid an individual can be in your organization, but if emotionally that person is not respected, emotionally that emotional bell is not rung, that employee or that contributor is not going to deliver. So just to give you an example, we deal with drivers. These are the same taxi drivers, bhaiya, that's the word. We have literally transitioned our drivers from being a driver to a chauffeur. And this was not possible by doing any training program only. It was possible by giving them that share of respect so that they can also feel valued. So empathy, as Mr. Malhotra already said about it, but yes, I'm just kind of conveying the message once again that empathy in what we do is super, super important. Moving to rise to high, H-I-G-H, high means please hustle like a startup. Irrespective of what you wish to do, when you wish to start your startup, when you want to be an entrepreneur, the hustle, the word hustle, is something which is the differentiation between somebody who's living and somebody who is dead. So that hustle, guys and girls, should not stop. I is for impact before optics, so go simple. It is not important to have optics in place. It is all right if the students of the back seat can sit in the front row and the chief guest can sit in the last row. That is the kind of thought process which I come from. Of course, people have their own ways of cultivating a culture within the organization, but it is very important to create something that works and that can reach your impression and your lasting impression onto the people. Gravitas and leadership, which is for G. So who's a leader? Is the leader the CEO of the company, or there can be some other leaders also? It's a question. So can the one who's at the front line be a leader? The one who's at the front line can also be a leader because ultimately he's the one who's interfacing with the customer. Ultimately, he's the one who's going to make and deliver your product. So today, when we are listening to the examples wherein the people who are the frontline managers, the people who are actually delivering, let's say a Swiggy or a Zomato, or all this started with an ideation only, ultimately. But the real service gets delivered by the one who is at the front line. So it's very important to make sure that the front line janta, even if you are a part of that front line, is truly engaged. Last but not the least, which is H, human first. It's very, very important that irrespective of what we are trying to create, we should create something which can leave something for my kids also, and not consuming everything today itself. So a message to all the startups, and that's what we have been discussing, be it EV or be it sustainability, create something by which we don't consume everything but leave things for our human as well. For all the leaders who are ladies and for all the women of the room, I just wish to say one sentence to all of you, that being stylish doesn't mean that you are less serious. So chase your dreams by being stylish, by being very high in the thought process, because ultimately I'm a firm believer, the homemaker is the maker of the business also eventually. We bring a lot of diversity, we bring a lot of clarity, and we bring a lot of balance. We neutralize the environment that we are in. So the next unicorn doesn't need to have a very high pitch. What it requires is a purpose. With this high-rise message, I just want to tell this entire team, specifically the kids who are sitting. I don't want to call you kids, by the way. My 10 years told me, don't call me a kid, because I'm enough grown up now. So what I believe is that today when we are seeing the chart where India is, India has come above than Japan. Is it something which is like a loud enough clap that India has defeated Japan, has come up in the economic development? Yes or a no? For all the Indians standing at the war front and for all the Indians sitting here, may I please request all of you to please switch on the flashlight of your cameras like this? Yeah, let's do it. Doesn't matter. I know it was not in the plan, but I just want everybody. The emotion, the sentiment is so high right now in all the Indians. One, for coming at the 4th number, and for all the kids and all those aspirations which are there behind. May you always, always, always shine brighter than this, and may this message of energy transform your world. Be whatever you wish to do, whichever way you wish to do, startup, no startup, but keep shining, keep hustling. And in this very beautiful conclave, which says Startup Conclave, Innovate, Succeed and Succeed, I just want to say, rise up. So thank you everyone. With this, I take your leave. It was a pleasure, honor, and delight being with all of you. Thank you.